Welcome to Grand Prix, your go-to channel for the fastest updates in Formula One. We've got 3 hot stories for you, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay ahead of the pack. Let's get started. One of last season's biggest controversies has resurfaced during pre-season testing in Bahrain: flexible wings, particularly the rear wings. Onboard footage has revealed that some teams might still be exploiting this concept, with their wings moving more than regulations allow, especially on straights. Some appear to bend or distort slightly, acting like a mini DRS, which can reduce aerodynamic drag and increase top speed. Last season, McLaren was among the teams suspected of using this technique the most, leading the FIA to step in and enforce stricter regulations. The governing body demanded design changes and increased testing to prevent any unfair advantage. However, despite these measures, it appears that some teams may have found new ways to exploit wing flexibility without technically violating the rules. During the latest preseason testing, Red Bull's chief engineer, Paul Monahan, openly accused Ferrari and McLaren of still benefiting from mini DRS systems. According to him, their flexible rear wings offer a clear speed advantage on straights. However, instead of filing a protest, Red Bull has decided to wait for the FIA's official inspections before the season-opening race in Australia. Monahan believes that, with so much attention on the issue, teams will likely not risk using these wings in an actual Grand Prix. The FIA is expected to conduct thorough technical checks before the first race to ensure all cars comply fully with the regulations. While preseason testing provides some flexibility, things will become much stricter from the Spanish Grand Prix onward, when tighter FIA controls on flexible wings will take effect. At that stage, any team caught with an illegal design will be forced to make immediate modifications, leading to additional costs and setbacks in car development. With F1's cost cap in place, any unexpected expenses for aero adjustments could significantly impact a team's upgrade plans for the season. Allocating resources to fix compliance issues rather than performance upgrades might hurt a team's competitiveness in the long run. If major adjustments are required mid-season, affected teams could fall behind in the development race, especially in a year where performance gaps are expected to be minimal. This explains why some teams might push the limits early in the season, hoping to gain an advantage before stricter enforcement begins. With video evidence now circulating, pressure is mounting on the FIA to act swiftly. While teams may have some room for experimentation and testing, there is an expectation that rules will be enforced consistently once the racing begins. If the FIA does not step in now, other teams could be tempted to adopt similar concepts, leading to a broader aerodynamic dispute. This leaves the FIA with a critical decision. Should they immediately crack down on flexible wings before the first race, ensuring fairness? Or should they gradually tighten controls until Spain, giving teams time to adjust? Several key questions remain. If Ferrari and McLaren are truly benefiting from flexible wings, will the FIA force changes before Australia? Will Red Bull's warning be enough to deter teams from risking disqualification? Most importantly, could this controversy impact the season's competitive balance, favoring teams that comply early over those that delay necessary changes? With the Australian Grand Prix approaching, we will soon find out whether these concerns translate into real performance advantages or if the FIA will intervene before it affects the championship standings. What do you think? Did Red Bull do the right thing by exposing the issue? And more importantly, will the FIA take serious action before the season officially begins? Share your thoughts. Tell me, what are your thoughts on Gabriel Bortoleto's first days as a Formula One driver? Do you think he performed well, or were you expecting more? The Brazilian rookie completed a total of 174 laps around the circuit, gaining valuable experience in his F1 debut. However, he faced some difficulties on the final day, which slightly affected his overall performance. Despite the setbacks, his enthusiasm remained high, and after concluding his testing program, he gave an interview sharing his first impressions of being on the track. Here's what he had to say. "It was 3 great days of testing. Well, actually, 1.5 for me, but for the team, it was 3 days. I'm happy with what we achieved. We have a lot of data to analyze, and I'm learning about the car and how to work with the team. I have a new engineer this season, but overall, these were positive days. It still doesn't feel real, to be honest. 2 weeks feels so close. Yet at the same time, it's an amazing feeling to know that my first F1 race is coming up soon. Beyond this statement, Bortoleto also revealed his next steps before his much-anticipated debut. He will now travel to Switzerland to spend time at Sauber's headquarters, working extensively in the simulator. The goal is to analyze the data collected from these 3 days of testing and refine every possible aspect to ensure he is fully prepared for his first-ever Formula One Grand Prix in Australia. Testing is always an exciting yet challenging period for rookies entering the elite world of Formula One. Bortoleto's journey so far has been promising, but he still has a steep learning curve ahead. These first days were crucial in allowing him to adapt to the complexity of an F1 car, understand tire management, aerodynamics, and get accustomed to communicating efficiently with his engineers, one of the most fundamental skills for any F1 driver. The final day of testing brought some hurdles, including technical issues that limited his time on track. However, setbacks like these are part of the experience, and it's essential for a young driver to remain resilient and learn how to navigate difficulties under pressure. His attitude has been positive, and that's exactly what a rookie needs to survive and thrive in Formula One. For many, Bortoleto's debut in F1 feels like a significant moment for Brazilian motorsport. With legendary Brazilian drivers like Ayrton Senna, Nelson Piquet, and Emerson Fittipaldi having left their mark on the sport, the country has a rich history in Formula One. However, it has been quite some time since Brazil had a young talent entering the grid, and fans are eager to see if Bortoleto can reignite that legacy. His time at Sauber will be essential in helping him fine-tune his driving and get comfortable with race-specific scenarios before the lights go out in Melbourne. Formula One is a sport of minute details. A small adjustment in braking, a better understanding of car balance, or refining his approach to qualifying can make a massive difference in a driver's rookie season. Expectations for his first race in Australia will naturally be high. While he isn't expected to fight for top positions immediately, his performance will be closely analyzed. Key aspects to watch include his qualifying speed, his ability to manage tires effectively, and his racercraft in wheel-to-wheel battles. How he handles high-pressure situations will give us a glimpse of his potential in F1. The Australian Grand Prix is now just 2 weeks away, and Bortoleto seems determined and excited for the challenge ahead. The upcoming race weekend will officially mark the beginning of his F1 career, and we will soon see if all the hard work and testing translates into a strong race debut. So, now the question is, do you believe Bortoleto will perform well in his first Grand Prix? Are you optimistic about his rookie season in Formula One? Share your thoughts. Hey everyone, we have breaking news regarding Felipe Massa's legal battle to reclaim his 2008 Formula One World Championship title. Before we dive into the latest developments, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of our daily updates covering everything happening in the world of F1. For those who haven't been following this case closely, here's a quick recap. Felipe Massa, the Brazilian driver, has taken legal action demanding the 2008 F1 title, arguing that a manipulated race cost him the championship. Massa lost the title to Lewis Hamilton by just 1 point, and recent revelations suggest that Formula One and the FIA were aware of the controversy at the time, but chose to cover it up to avoid a major scandal. The controversy centers around the 2008 Singapore Grand Prix, where Renault orchestrated a deliberate crash to manipulate the outcome of the race. This infamous event, known as Crashgate, played a crucial role in Massa's eventual title loss. According to former F1 boss Bernie Ecclestone, officials knew about the scandal during the 2008 season but decided not to act on it. Based on these admissions, Massa chose to pursue legal action in an attempt to have the race annulled, which would, in theory, alter the final standings and award him the championship. Now, after months of anticipation, the British courts have scheduled the first hearing for this lawsuit, marking a major milestone in Massa's legal fight. All key figures involved in the case, including Felipe Massa, Lewis Hamilton's representatives, and officials from both the FIA and Formula One, will be present, facing questioning and being required to provide explanations for their actions during that period. The court has set the dates for this hearing on October 28th and October 31st, 2025, in what will likely be the first of several legal proceedings in this complex case. Massa is not only seeking official recognition as the rightful 2008 champion, which would mean stripping Hamilton of his first title, but he is also demanding financial compensation for the damages caused by the alleged cover-up. Massa's legal team argues that had he been crowned champion, he would have received millions in bonuses from Ferrari, as well as sponsorship deals, commercial opportunities, and a significantly higher salary throughout his career. The total financial impact of this lost title is estimated to exceed $50 million, which Massa is now seeking as part of his legal claim. However, this case is far from straightforward. Even with strong evidence supporting Massa's claims, overturning a 17-year-old championship result is an unprecedented move in Formula One history. The FIA and Formula One will likely fight back fiercely, as such a decision would set a dangerous precedent for revisiting past championships, potentially opening the door for further legal disputes in the future. Beyond the legal battle, this case has major implications for Formula One's credibility. If the 2008 season results were indeed manipulated, it raises serious questions about transparency and governance within the sport. Many believe that Massa has a legitimate case, but whether the courts will rule in his favor is another story entirely.